Welcome back to Unhuman Storytime. Today I am playing Arcade Spirits, the new Challengers demo. If you'll take a seat, I'll tell you a story. Obviously, there might be spoilers for the first game in this demo. I don't mind being spoiled personally, it's not that big a deal. Because you might know what happens, but you don't know how it happens. That's how I think of it. But if you don't want to be spoiled for the first one, don't watch. I just want to put that out there right now. Alright, let's get into it already. We have Iris. That's good. It's good that she's back from the first one. I'm assuming it's the same one, but I guess maybe it might not be. I don't know. We'll see. Hello, and welcome to Arcade Spirits, the new Challengers. My name is Iris, your personal digital assistant. I'll be your guide through the world of 20XX, an alternate timeline where arcades never went away. But before we begin your tale of love, friendship, and arcade competition, let's log in and set up your personal profile. I've had computers that looked like that. Oh gosh. I don't know if any of you watching recognize that noise, but I sure do. Back in the day. Okay, let's see. Username, password, check the I am not a robot box, identify all the fire hydrants. This is tough for an AI like me to do. And we're in. I've loaded up some default metadata, but if I get anything wrong, please feel free to change it however you like. Let's go to Seeker. No, we'll keep that, that's fine. Sydney Moore, also known as Seeker. Wow, so many pronouns to choose from. I don't even know some of these. Of course, I can't really claim to be a pronoun expert or anything. I like this one, Fae Fair, because it makes me think of fairies. I played a man last time, but let's play a woman this time. Actually, I like playing women in games. It's because it's different from my personal experience. Make her a little bit more true to me, despite the gender switch. What do I want? How about unicorn? Unicorns are cool. I like unicorns. I like black hair. Black hair, gray eyes. Cool. I like it. I could pick a nose. Don't pick your nose. It's rude. I like the pointiness of this. I mean, I don't need to go through any other ones. Sold. It's a pretty good selection of body types, right? I think so. Maybe a dark red? Yeah, I like that. Let's do that. Skirt or pants? Skirt or pants? Pants. Gotta be honest, her face looks really empty without the glasses. But I like these thinner frames. I think that's enough. Maybe something to match my shirt. There we go. I say no hat. Hello, Seeker. Gosh, this is exciting. I'll do everything I can to support your hopes and dreams. Oh, but it seems you aren't alone, are you? No, you also have your rival to contend with. Why don't you tell me a bit about them, too? I forgot, you get to design your rival in this. Do I really care to do this too? I already designed one character, that's enough. Chris Masterson, Hunter. They, them. Let's keep them as they are. Sure. Interesting. So Hunter is your rival. Tell me, is this a friendly rivalry or a hostile rivalry? You can have conflict with a friendly rivalry, so let's do that. That's terrific. It's nice to have a friend, even if you two are usually on opposite sides of a fight. Yeah. Okay, I think we're all set. Have fun playing Arcade Spirits, the new Challengers. Will do, Iris. Ooh. Blah, blah, blah. Stuff. Content. I wonder what kind of content warnings they have. Actually, I'm gonna go check real quick just so I can warn y'all. Give me just a second. Alright, they have a little non-spoiler content warning here. So, just so y'all know, there is some bigotry / ableism and mild triggering language, in this case, snowflake. So, if either of those bothers you, either stop watching or just be forewarned. Level 1. Ultimate Team Up. From as far back as I can remember, my dreams were always ones of victory. The roar of the crowd, the gleam of gold, the pulse-pounding action, struggling against all odds to reach the very top. Achievement, recognition, triumph. When you're young, you don't put much thought as to why you crave victory. You just do. You want to be the very best, like no one ever was. My game of choice is Fist of Discomfort 2, the worldwide esports phenomenon. It's a 2-on-2 strategy fighting game, so you need a reliable partner in order to win. Major esport teams like Play to Win focus entirely on developing their FOD2 skills, and that's what I'm looking for. Dedicated players to win the championship with. Now it is the distant future year 20XX, and those dreams of victory are what led me here today, to this unusual little arcade in the middle of the city. My longtime rival Hunter just signed on with Team Play to Win, one of the top esports organizations in the world, so naturally I wanted to find a great team myself. An app on my phone named Iris suggested I come here, to Good Clean Fun, a combination pizzeria / laundromat / arcade. She said I'd find a team to help me go for the gold. But, well, that team isn't exactly what I was expecting. The members of Team GCF, for lack of a better name, aren't focused on my game of choice. They're interested in all sorts of other games too. Here, let me introduce them to you. There's Zapper. As the name implies, she's completely into light gun games, blasting away at robots and zombie robots all day. I like light games. She looks cool. Those tattoos are pretty cool, actually.
Die! 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 Oh, I hate this RNG boss fight. Either send drones in a predictable pattern, or don't bother sending them at all. I mean, can you believe this shit? It's 20 and game designers are still relying on quarter-munching RNG in their games.
Alright, the voice seemed a little quiet to me, so I turned down the music a little because the voice volume was already maxed out. So hopefully you heard what she was saying. Hey Zapper, how's the gunslinging going?
Not as awesome as I'd like. Kind of boring, honestly.
Alright, that sounds better to me.
But I need to get some training in for a freestyle competition coming up next month. You know, get my twirls and swooshes and quick draws nice and perfect.
So, maybe take a break and play some Fists of Discomfort 2 with me instead?
Hey, you know I'm down. Give me a few minutes to finish this level and I'll be right there alongside you, delivering beatdowns and one-liners.
Thanks, Zapper. Okay, that's one. Let's see if I can get the rest on board. The next might be a bit trickier. Rhapsody is our team's Fist of Discomfort 2 expert. They routinely post videos and blogs analyzing the game, breaking down tactics. A perfect option. Hey Rhapsody, interested in actually playing some FOD2 instead of just talking FOD2 maybe?
Can you give me like 20 minutes? I'm reviewing some combo videos that just dropped, which totally destroy the current meta.
Well, okay. So a few minutes then?
You can't rush these things. I'll need to spend more time breaking it down frame by frame first. Be with you soon?
Assuming Rhapsody doesn't get lost in analysis. But Domino? Maybe he'd be interested in starting right away? Domino plays bullet hell shoot 'em ups, the kind of games that need intense reflexes and good instincts. As I approach, he's in the middle of avoiding 9,591 glowing pink plasma balls. Hey, Domino! And that's when the screen fills with a giant explosion and the words, "Game over."
Ah, the inevitability of a game over. Some days you get the radioactive mutant space bear, and some days the radioactive mutant space bear gets you, I suppose. But in the end, it's always the bear.
Pretty sure that's Pro ZD. I know he's doing a voice in this.
Oh, hey, it's you. Come to embrace the absolute void of space and the futility of a fight you can't win? Crushing doom can be yours for one measly quarter.
I can get my Doom for free, thank you. Another time. How about some FOD2 instead?
You're very insistent about this FOD2 dream, aren't you? I'm curious as to what your goals were in coming here.
I just want to play FOD2, that's all.
Well, good for you. It's nice to want things. I'll join in the fray, but first I'm off to the bathroom. I've been holding it so long my back teeth are floating. Later.
Okay, next candidate. Jinx is the arcade's driving game expert. She's usually found drifting around corners in Fast Cars 7 at impossible speed. One of the FC7 cabinets has been specially adapted for her disability. Hand controls instead of foot pedals to give her joints a rest. Hey Jinx, I was wondering. No, never mind, you're clearly busy.
Wanted to play some FOD2, huh?
I'm so predictable. I like her icon, that cat, that's cool. That was the plan, yes? Everybody's a bit occupied and you're in the middle of a race, so...
Still, worth asking. Don't assume things. You're part of this crew now, so we'll make time when we can. Got a busy afternoon ahead, but I can sneak some team practice in. Give me 30 to rest my wrists a bit and I'll be good to go. Deal?
Deal. Alright, I like her. She seems cool. Okay, it's a start. If I can get the last two on board, we'll really have something. Loxley is the arcade's ticket and prize game expert. He's mastered the art of liberating kitty toys from redemption games. And after obtaining a stuffed dragon from Good Clean Fun's crane game, he pops open the lock on the case and puts it back on top.
Catch and release, yes?
What?
It's good to stay in practice. Keep the skills sharp. But no need to deprive a young one of a toy they might enjoy in the process. So the owners gave me the key to the machine, allowing me to put my catches back in there. It's only fair. I only unleash my full talent upon corrupt and unjust arcades, such as the Palace. This arcade is sacred ground in comparison. But enough of that. Did I hear just now you're putting together a practice match?
Yes I am. It's a bit delayed, but it seems to be happening.
Then I pledge my sword to your cause. Let me wrap up here, and we shall begin the festivities.
He's a bit of a goofball, but I like him too. That's 5. And finally, Grace Cooper, our resident programming genius. She's working on her own RPG called The Wanderlost Trail, and surprisingly, she also made Iris, my personal assistant app. Hey Grace, we need one more for an FOD2 match. Are you interested?
Oh, hello. Certainly, but I've got this weird bug in my game I'm trying to hunt down first. For some reason, it's perpetually spawning wheels of cheese when I try to climb this mountain. There's just so much to do before my game is ready for people to play. But I hope it'll be ready soon. Soonish. Eventually. In the future.
I'm sure you'll figure it out, Mom. You're the best. Grace almost fumbles her heavily modified handheld game console on hearing my phone cheerfully chirp at her.
You don't have to call me Mom, Iris.
But you're my mom. Would you prefer a different user designation, Mom?
Anyway, I'll be with you soon. Promise.
Love your child, Grace. Love your damn child. Not exactly a thundering wave of enthusiasm. This isn't what I was hoping for when Iris set me up with this team. Hunter is in the big leagues with Team Play to Win, and I'm in, well, a friendly neighborhood gaming club? It makes me wonder. Alright, so we got the same stats as before, but I know they changed basic to flexibly. Probably because basic doesn't sound fun. Okay, so first choice, maybe they'll support my dreams as friends. Second choice, perhaps I could provide leadership and direction. Third choice, I could inspire them to be champions. Fourth choice, they just need to see how much fun the Pro Tour could be. And last choice, are they ever going to be interested in glory? Well, it's not going to be number 2, because I'm not a leader. I mean, maybe the game will put the main character in that role, but I would not seek it out. I also consider myself particularly inspiring. So it's going to be down to the first one, the fourth one, or maybe the fifth one. I'm going to go with this one. They just need to see how much fun the Pro Tour could be. Okay, so training to be a professional team is tough, but it's also fun, you know? Being paid to play video games? Isn't that every kid's dream? If I can get them to see what an amazing ride it would be to seek championship gold, if I can show them all the upsides, maybe we could get something going. Zapper's always ready for some fun, and Rhapsody enjoys a good time too. Domino's got a wicked sense of humor and might find a certain bent appeal in diving into this. First things first, though, waiting on the team for today's practice. Every journey starts with a single step. But as I'm pondering that first step, someone else steps foot in good, clean fun. Someone unexpected. Someone's unexpected. Four cocky-looking people stand at the entrance to the arcade, smirking at everything, each wearing a flashy gold team jersey. Wait a minute. That's Team Play to Win. What are they doing here? The beefy one of the bunch, I think his handle is Blitz, looks around, clearly unimpressed with what he sees. Huh, nice broom closet. Where's the arcade? A woman at his side. Yep, that's Divine. I recognize her from her streams. Lets out a little snicker and stage whispers to him in response. I think this is the Arcade Blitz. It's charming, I suppose. Quaint in a way. Likely popular with the kiddies. They're mean. A slightly unshaven teammate smirks while rolling his eyes. That'd be Coda, supposedly the brains of the team. Now, Divine, we're here to have fun and play nice. Let's not be all rude and stuff to the local yokels. But I ignore those three. Because there's one more who has my complete and undivided attention. Team Chill. We're here to say hello to Seeker's new team, so play nice. They're a bit riled up because we just absolutely crushed it in an online tourney, so we wanted to come out and celebrate with you. You want to celebrate your win with me? Don't forget, we're also celebrating your acceptance onto this team, too. Look at all of you. You're all so cute. Shut up, Hunter. You suck. It's good to see you, I guess, but... My eyes dart over to the rest of Hunter's team. They've all wandered off around the arcade, laughing and making rude gestures toward the small collection of games. Man, these guys suck. Why'd you bring them? Oh, they're harmless. Hunter waves it off like it's nothing. You're gonna have to make a choice eventually, Hunter. Just saying. Sure, they talk a big game, but they're pretty chill. And from all over the arcade, I can see the other team splitting up, looking to hassle my new friends. Certainly plenty of hassle to go around. Oh. Okay, so maybe they're a little overexcited. Let me see if I can do anything about this. We can catch up later. Hunter smiles, looking me in the eyes before turning around and leaving me where I stand. Immediately, the tension in the arcade jacks up to a ridiculous degree. Clearly more than 3.6, I'm unfamiliar with this word, Rontgens? Of an unstable nuclear situation. Not great, not terrible. Team P2W are quickly finding various ways to cause trouble, antagonizing my new friends, messing with the games. The easiest thing to do would be to avoid all this drama and stay on the sidelines, but that's not what friends do. Even if I'm a relatively new friend, less than a day old, I should step in and help where I can. I could do that. Seeker, let me help! How can a phone app help with playground bullies? I'm keeping my microphone input open and echolocating any trouble you may find around the place. Check out your map and pick a place to go. But I don't think you're going to be able to visit everyone before things boil over. Right. Prioritize. Got it. What's happening right now? I think my rival and I need to have some words about this mess. Grace and Loxley are being hassled by an absolute unit from P2W. Rhapsody, Zapper, and a P2W are having a loud argument about strategy. Jinx and Domino are dealing with someone from P2W hogging her racing game. Let's start with Rhapsody, Zapper, and P2W doing the strategy argument thing in the laundromat. Off to one side in the laundry zone, I spot a small gathering, Rhapsody and Zapper, as well as the P2W metagame Brainiac called Coda. Weren't you a member of P2W for like a very short time? I guess you only stayed up on the metagame when you actually had a good team. Everyone knows Tomokaze is headed for Nerf City. It's patently obvious. She's way too flexible, which makes her too powerful. Nearly every major FOD2 team runs at least one, if not several, Tomokaze specialists, making the meta so predictable it hurts. Once they nerf her, she'll be as good as gone from the game.
It's a viable tactic.
There's always going to be a place for a middle-of-the-road character like Tomokaze. She's a solid pick. Individually, she's not that powerful, but paired is where her true power shines. She's easy for new players to pick up and play.
I just don't see that working out.
So, no, I don't think they will change her dramatically anytime soon. Who cares about noobs? FOD2 needs to retain the core player base and satisfy the demands of the players. The competitive scene can't grow with such an obvious main pick at the heart of the metagame. Tomokaze has to go. You're a fool for not seeing that. A flunked out fool. What's wrong exactly? Oh, thank RN Jesus, it's Seeker. Talk some sense into these two, okay?
This sucks.
All this metagame yammering is boring. Agreed. Boring and pointless. It's like a comment section brought to life. Who cares what characters are in or out of the game, who gets buffed or nerfed? Who cares what the future may bring? Just play the dang game we've actually got and have fun with it. Zapper's a spunky one. I like her. Fun? I'm in play to win, not an elementary school computer club. You can't win without a plan. And Tomokaze wrecks every plan we have. She's literally easy mode.
Nah.
You can't just remove Tomokaze. Think of how that will impact the game. All we'll have are characters that are too difficult to learn, which will drive new players away. And new players grow the competitive scene, not character removal. Whatever, fool.
Ugh.
Ugh, all this theory crafting is making my brain leak out my ears. All I hear is slosh, slosh, slosh. Ah, so it's a debate about FOD2 nerd stuff. Still, if I can step in and close this down, that's one less flashpoint of conflict going down in our arcade. Alright, 3 choices. Rhapsody's right, a simple and flexible character at the heart of the game is important. Zapper's right, quit dwelling on form predicting the future, and just enjoy the game we've got. And I'm sorry, did you seriously just resort to insults, Coda? How is that helping? That's not going to have any effect on him. Well, nothing's going to have any effect on him because he's one of those types. I'm going to say Zapper's right because honestly, I don't care. I gotta agree with Zapper here. Armchair quarterbacking is kind of pointless, you know? Leads you to spend more time yelling on the forums than actually playing. It's not like we can predict what changes the developers will make in the end. You could be wasting your time planning for a future that never comes. +1 Zapper. Exactly! We plan, God laughs. You can theory craft all you want, but in the middle of a match, you just gotta do whatever works. Tomokaze or no Tomokaze. What, so you go into a fight with no build in mind at all? Not even an item purchase list for dojo power-ups? Alright, 3 choices. I didn't say 0 planning, just that you need to adapt your plans on the fly. I don't memorize facts and combo lists. I live in the moment and fight in the moment. What happens when your opponent does something you didn't plan ahead for? I'll go with the first one. Okay, I didn't mean to take it that far. I still go in with each match with a game plan. Just that I'm willing to bend that plan as needed. A game plan? Come on now. Do you take notes and keep 3-ring binders too? Hush up, Zapper. Hey, I like keeping my options open and changing to meet the needs of the fight. But I'm not diving in completely unprepared. I hit a middle ground. It's a good point. Striking a balance is a valid approach, and Tomokaze is great at striking that balance. She's too balanced. She's too powerful. Ugh, you know what I mean. You can go on and on about flexibility all you want, but with this low skill floor character in the mix, you'll get mauled by noobs every time. Are you seriously saying you get whooped by a total newbie just because they use Tomokaze? Oh snap. Alright, Nelson. Wow, you must really suck to have such little faith in your own skills. That's kind of sad, my dude. That's not what that's... Oh, forget it. There's no talking to you pathetic fanboys. Not appropriate for anyone in this conversation. When FOD2 crashes and burns, mark my words, I'll have told you this would happen. Consider him marked. Zapper gives him the old finger guns before Coda stomps away in a huff. For someone who's supposed to be the brains in P2W, he didn't have much critical thinking. Maybe next time it'll be a real debate instead of tossing insults. I'm going back to watching this stream.
Aw, yeah.
See, this is why I like having you around. You shake things up. We really need that if we're ever going to break out of stagnation. Alright, 3 choices. 1, just doing what I can to support my friends. I'm sure you'll do no less. Number 2, just call me Sir Mix-a-Lot because I shake things up good. 3, are things really that stagnant with the team? I've only been here a day, but... I mean, if I've only been here a day, it really feels weird calling them friends. If you ask me, yeah. I'm actually curious what she has to say about the stagnation she mentioned, so let's go with that. How bad are things with Team GCF? You keep going on about how we need to rattle the cage, but...
Nah.
Okay, it's not that bad. But if we're going to go for the Pro Tour, we need someone with your charisma in the mix. Because my charisma hasn't worked real well so far. I'm not exactly the most popular girl in school right now. I don't think I've ever seen Zapper look melancholy? Woeful? Whatever it is, she shakes it off quickly enough. +1 Zapper. Okay, show's over. Let's get back to dealing with the invasion of the esports jerks, my least favorite sci-fi B-movie of all time.
Later.
I'm out. Later. Okay, where am I going next? Okay, well, I'm gonna go see what Jinx and Domino are up to. Over on the far side of the arcade, I spot Jinx loitering near her beloved Fast Cars 7 game. Shifting from foot to foot, legs clearly getting tired quickly. As for why she isn't comfortably seated behind the wheel and blasting around corners at unsafe speeds, well, it's because of this jerk. One of the Team P2W players is sitting in her seat, lazily cruising through the turns with one perfectly manicured hand on the wheel. In fact, when I walk up to chat with Jinx, the P2Wer is the one to actually greet me first. Sorry, no autographs right now. I'm totally killing it at this game. I was not planning on asking for one, no. Ah, great. I appreciate that, you know? So many of my adoring fans just won't give me any space or privacy. I don't like this voice. I'm going to stop that. It's always, oh, I love your streams, Divine. Or, can I have a hug, Divine? Or, will you sign my leg, Divine? Ugh, people can be gross. Nobody here wants their leg autographed. Look, I scheduled an online game with a friend coming up soon, so you want to wrap up your race so I can get a turn? Ah, sorry. Arcade rules, honey. Winner stays on, and I am winning.
Come on.
Only because I modded the game to have weak AI so I can focus on improving my time trials. And you're in my seat. Don't see your name on it, honey. Perfectly good seat right next to this one too, see? Play on that one. You're the only one with hand controls. I literally can't use the other. Yeah, that sounds like a you problem, not a me problem. Not my fault you're defective. Oh wow, she is... I was going to use a very unkind and inappropriate word. Uh-oh. Jinx's eyelid just started twitching, and I think she's biting her lip hard not enough to draw blood. Look, be a darling and fetch me some water or something, okay? I'll be here for some time. Now if I unplug the console, I would too. Jinx's grip on her walking cane tightens to the point where I swear I can hear bones creak. But oddly, she backs down.
Damn,
No. I gotta stand up for my girl here. I dropped to a whisper, low enough not to be heard over the digital revs of a digital car engine. Can't you just kick her off? It's your game. You've got priority.
Well, this sucks.
Want to, believe me. But that's not the way arcades work. Winner stays on. Others quarter up and wait. Besides, Ben and Matt own the game, not me. Okay, so get Ben and Matt to come over here and boot her off the thing. They're distracted. I look around for Ben and Matt, owners of this privately owned business establishment and resident authority figures. Oh no. Who are way too busy dealing with a couple of washing machines spewing out rich, creamy soap all over the floor.
Well, I'd call this a mess, but it's sort of the elemental opposite of messy.
Maybe we could throw a foam party and call it a new selling point.
Ah, I see. I could beat her. I nearly jump when the wallflower makes his presence felt. I'll race against her. I don't need hand controls. I can use the second player's seat. If I beat her, she can't stay on the game. Since when are you a racer?
This can't possibly end badly.
I'm a survivor. I'm pretty sure keeping a ton of virtual metal from flying over the guardrail of a mountain pass is a lot like playing a shmup.
Not sure about that.
Dunno. It's a long shot. Or we could just convince her to bail? Don't ask me how. Other than breaking her legs, which is where I'd want to start, personally. If we don't play it cool, we risk making the situation with all these PGW toadies more volatile than it already is.
Ugh.
I say let's make it hostile. Anyway. Ugh, not worth. My online race will just have to wait. My friend's pretty busy, but I can reschedule for later. It's the adult thing to do. Don't selfishly boot a player off your favorite game. Just adapt your own plans and move on. I say the more adult thing would be to allow people who need the accessibility options to use their damn thing. I feel strongly about this sort of thing, in case you couldn't tell. But whoever said I was an adult, I want to support Team GCF, my new friends. How do we make this happen? Hey, there's the option I wanted. Alright, the three choices. Jinx, I've got an idea for how to publicly shame Miss Celeb Streamer for taking your seat. Domino, you're up. Put her in your rear view mirror and cross that finish line. You can do this. Or screw this, I'll just unplug the game. I suppose I should not escalate too much. I want to see what Jinx can do about it. I wonder what the idea is. Let's see. Celebrity can be a double-edged sword. If this divine values her image enough, maybe we can turn her attitude against her. Jinx? Permission to do something sketchy? To spotlight and shame her for what she just said?
Let's do this.
My knees are freaking killing me, so yeah. Make like Exodia and obliterate her. People hogging resources set aside for the disabled are going to the special hell. And I make the travel arrangements. Okay. But you sure you're okay with me playing advocate for you? You seem more like a self-advocate sort of person. Let's say I'm curious how you're going to swing this, so I'm willing to step back just this once. Besides, I'd probably just lay into her like the fist of an angry god. Fisting sounds counterproductive. Good luck, Seeker. That was an adult joke. I walk back over to Fast Cars 7, sliding my phone into my open palm, but hand turned away to hide it for the time being. Hey, excuse me. Where's my water bottle? Racing is thirsty work. I just wanted to confirm something with you. Did you seriously just tell my friend it's not my problem you're defective? Did I stutter? Ugh. These laundromat plebes, I swear. Just making sure. Okay. I whipped my phone up, opening apps for all the random social media websites I kept signing up for. How do you spell divine? 2 I's, or is there like a Y somewhere in there? What? Hey, you can't post that! Why? You confirmed you just said it. And once everyone finds out you're ableist, have fun keeping your contract. I said nothing of the sort. You can't prove that. Iris, you're keeping an open microphone rolling, right? Mind spitting that back for me? Sure thing, Seeker. And what do you know, my pocket privacy violation echoes Divine's own words back at her while I prepare my posts. Yeah, that sounds like a you problem, not a me problem. Not my fault you're defective. So to make sure I'm tagging this right, you're at Divine P2W on Twitter, the Divine One on Facewall, and Divine was taken on Pixtagrammer, right? You can't do this. I won't let you. Alright, 3 choices. 1, I actually did it 35 seconds ago. 2, walk away and I'll delete the recording. Or 3, that sounds like a you problem, not a me problem. Oh, I don't usually like the basic / flexible options, but using the words against her just so good. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, that sounds like a you problem, not a me problem. Not my fault you're a lousy person. Yay, +1. Jinx. In the background, I actually hear Jinx giggle before she stifles it while trying to retain her cool and collected self-image. With my finger hovering over the button, the streamer slug considers her options. Ugh, fine, whatever. Play your silly game, I'm done with it. I put my phone away without posting the video. No need now that she's back down. I'd keep that video, personally, just around, just in case. She sneers at me before climbing out of the driver's seat and marching away. Huh, clever girl. I can see my work here is done. Yeah, you who did nothing. You didn't do anything. Domino mimics swooshing a cape and fluttering away. Ah, what a goofball.
Not bad at all.
Personal responsibility is kind of my thing. Admit to your mistakes, make amends for them. Forcing her to face the music feels good. Plus, now I don't have to get arrested again for assault. Right. Wait, again? I'm sure they deserved it. Something of a temper. I was very hot-headed, very impulsive in my wild years. Settled down a bit now, but sometimes it bubbles up. Alright, 3 choices. 1, like when someone disrespects your disability. 2, like when someone leaves the toilet seat up. 3, like when someone cuts you off in traffic. I'm just gonna go with the first one. Like when someone disrespects your disability. Gotten in 1. Honestly, most of the time it's just people making mistakes because they normally don't have to even think about us. I can understand that. Don't usually run into someone who's actively a hater. When I do, though, the old urge to step up is strong. +1 Jinx. Fortunately, you stepped up for me. Don't normally approve of someone playing savior like Loxley does, but in this case, I'll take it. Plus, I did ask for your help. No shame in asking for help. Took me time to learn that one. Jinx shifts her cane from hand to hand, leaning heavily on it. Her cane looks cool, too. It's kind of blocked right now, but I saw it before.
See you later.
Okay, show's over. Drift Queen's got a school, Retro Geek on how to drive, and I really need to sit down. Gotcha. Happy to help out. Call me if she bugs you again. Deal. I leave Jinx and Domino to see what else I can help with. Okay, where am I going next? Let's see what Grace and Loxley are gonna do. On the far side of good clean fun, Grace is demoing her indie RPG on that fancy homebrew handheld game console. Sort of. I forgot the voice I gave this guy already. Wow, this game's easy as hell. Slice, dice, 200 XP. That old guy didn't even put up a fight.
What?
That's a shepherd, not a fighter at all. Blitz, please, you're not supposed to be killing the villager NPCs. I mean, if she coded them to be killable, that's kind of her problem. I don't see why not. They're packed with tons of XP. I've leveled up 3 times in 5 minutes cutting my way through this town. They have XP because they have levels and crafting skills, not because they're meant to be murdered. Don't know what to say. XP is XP, and they're good XP. Look at that blood spray. So much for the laundry you're carrying, lady. Gonna need to put a stain treatment on that blanket.
Oh no.
You killed the town weaver. She loved music and quilting and... So what's this game called again? Wandering Trial or something? Where's the big bad at the end? I want to skip to the end. Run, stupid villagers. I've got an axe and you've got heads and I'm going to use one on the other. Please don't. Just give me back my game. What was that? Speak up, can't hear all these digital screams and stuff. Give it back please if you don't mind. You're playing it all wrong. Hey, come on. You'll never grow as a game designer without feedback. Don't you want me to test this thing? Not enough game devs really listen to the gamers, you know? They hide and ignore us or ban us from their forums, or... Are you afraid of free speech? No, it's not that. Okay, I guess. Puzzled as to how this even happened, I try to catch Grace's attention. As she mouths, "Help me," my way briefly, unable to even raise her voice, so racked with nerves and anxiety. Alright, I'm identifying with Grace right now. And I barely noticed Loxley sliding on up next to me. I have no idea how one manages to lurk in the shadows of a brightly lit pizzeria, but he's done it.
Unacceptable!
That such a ruffian should harass our fair Grace like this. It's unacceptable! Unacceptable! Something must be done. Fortunately, he's talking quietly enough that the ruffian himself doesn't hear us. Plus, that little speaker's loudly squealing with the screams of the innocent. And Ben and Matt are busy dealing with an impromptu foam party, or we could get this guy booted out of here. No, the task falls to us, I'm afraid. As her friends and allies, we are honor bound, and I suggest this be executed in a subtle manner, lest mere tensions turn to full troubles.
A bold move.
I propose shenanigans. If you can distract this brute in a way that makes him drop the game, I will promptly retrieve it. You want him to drop Grace's custom homemade game console? I have faith in my agility. I can save it from impact with the floor. And this act would break his attention away from it. Albeit, if you have a better stratagem in mind, I'm all ears. But we should act swiftly and decisively. What do you propose? 1. I'm going to try talking him down. Grace would prefer a peaceful resolution. 2. Okay, Loxley, it's time for shenanigans. I'll go high, you go low, and let's do this. 3. Forget it. I'll just grab the game away from him. I prefer a direct approach. I think I'm going to try to do my best to be helpful to Grace in this situation, the way she would want. If we escalate the situation while Team P2W is here in force, it could get ugly. So let's not cause a scene. I'm going to talk Blitz down. Are you serious? I doubt that thick-headed Chandlerker buffoon is in the mood for honest discourse. Okay, so I'm not usually the open and share touchy-feely sort, but I'd like to take a run at this all the same. I suppose, but all the same, I'll be ready to spring into action should you fail. He bows out, allowing me to step up and confront the jock. Hey Blitz, enjoying the Wanderlost trail? Huh? Oh, it's you. Hunter's loser, pal. What do you want? I'm busy here. Enjoying the game, huh? It's okay. Kinda retro in the graphics department. The blood spray's really half-baked. And it's too easy to kill people. There's no challenge at all. Look, I'm level 6 already, and haven't even left this town. I'm just playing until I get to the fun part. Till then, it's just whack, whack, whack to make the numbers go up, I guess. 1. You could say the same thing about football, which is why they don't allow knives in football, see? 2. Okay, look. Grace asks for her game back. That means you give it back. Simple math. 3. Got any suggestions for game improvements now that you're done playing her game? It's simple math, but I feel this guy flunked out of math. And she already asked for it back. I feel like let's talk football with this guy. Let's try using a metaphor this guy will probably understand. Sports ball. Grace is right though, you're playing it wrong. Excuse me? Look, the point of a game is engaging with the challenge it presents. You aren't doing that. It's like bringing a katana to a football game. If you carve your way through the defense in a literal sense, you'll score a touchdown, but it's not like you really won. Are you dense or something? There's no swords in football. Exactly. And in Grace's game, you're not supposed to kill the villagers. They're there to help you out in other ways. So why allow me to kill them at all? Make it against the rules. I'm kind of wondering that myself. I like a game where the rules reinforce the theme, you know? If it's supposed to be all happy, hippie, cooperative stuff, don't let me kill the hippies. Yeah, okay, I guess I was playing it wrong, but in my defense, the game let me play it wrong. Thank you. We value your playtest experience. And now that it's done and we've heard your valuable feedback, how about you be a gentleman and give the lady back her game, like she asked you to do? Repeatedly? He looks a bit reluctant, but I've backed him into the same corner of social pressure he put Grace into. Given he only knows me as Hunter's loser pal, he's not inclined to take me seriously, but with a shrug gives up the game, handing it back to Grace. Yeah, whatever. Was getting boring anyway. I'm gonna go see if there's actually any decent pizza in this crap hole. Satisfied, he walks away to find something else to distract himself with. +1 Grace. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. She cuddles her game as if it was a newborn babe, needing to be soothed from a crying tantrum after getting its first shots. Oh, I see. Grace has a favorite child, and it's not my Iris. That's messed up, Grace. It's messed up. It'll be okay, it'll be okay. I'll restore the database, bring everyone back to life, and maybe put in safeguards to keep that from happening again. I didn't think anybody would be cruel enough to just kill defenseless villagers. Why would anyone want to hurt these people? The world can be a cruel place, Miss Cooper. A cruel place indeed.
You have my thanks.
You've my gratitude, Seeker. Good show. With that, he slips back into shadow, sensing he's no longer needed to watch over Grace.
Thank you so much.
I owe you for this, Seeker. Thank you so much. I shouldn't have let him play the game at all, but when he asked me what I did for a living, I said I design games and he wanted to play. I I didn't want to make a fuss, I guess. He's not exactly my target audience, but I feel like I'd be closed-minded not to let him play a bit. And then things got messy.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I'm just no good at all with confrontations. 1. You should stand up to people like him. You were in the right. He was being a tool. 2. If you ever want to digitize me into the virtual world to defeat a brute like that, go ahead. 3. Always happy to help. Need me in the future, just ask. I'll be around. I'm not one to talk about the standing up to people. Even if I'm kind of standing up to people in this game. Just saying. Let's go with the joke. Digitize me, virtual world, blah, blah, blah. Hey, you ever want me to defend the land of the Wanderlost Trail from the inside? Just zap me into the system and I'll fight for the users. Of course, you'd need the kind of equipment that only exists in bad Hollywood sci-fi, but... or good Hollywood sci-fi, I say. Right. Only exists in bad Hollywood sci-fi. I was hoping to cut the tension a bit with that joke. Why does she suddenly look concerned? But she shakes it off quickly enough. Either she totally is into that sort of thing and considers it good sci-fi, or she has some kind of technology that could put people into games. Oh, yes, interesting. +1 grace. Anyway, it's good to know that someone's willing to defend me in awful situations like those. That I have a friend I can rely on. That's why I like Team GCF. I feel safe here. I feel safe and loved in a lot of ways. And I know you and I kind of just met, but it's always nice to find a new friend. Okay, I've got to reset my server and put everything back the way it was before that sadist touched my precious game world.
Thanks a bunch.
Thanks again for your help. And lo, the land is saved from the terrible beast ransacking its peoples. The end. It's getting late. How long are we going to have to deal with Team P2W squatting in our clubhouse anyway? Beep beep, Seeker. I'm detecting a buildup of social tension. Please follow the indicator on your map. Oh, great. Now what? Over in the arcade, around the FOD2 machine itself, P2W squares off against GCF, both sides finally having enough of this mess. After all my hard work, it's all going to come to fisticuffs. Don't even know why we came to this pathetic little arcade in the first place.
Are you kidding me?
Just a prissy little celebutante loser who thinks her follower count is a metric of awesomeness. Bunch of little fragile snowflakes can't even take a...
Seriously?
Complete waste of time, acting all high and mighty when you're... Simply don't understand how the game is meant to be played. With that attitude, you never will. Was just trying to explain how I felt. I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to...
Hell no.
Leave Grace alone, you freaking loser. Is this all really necessary? Can't we just drop it? This is getting ridiculous. But I know how to solve it. Or at least refocus all this aggression into something else. 1. Hunter, we'll play a friendly match of FOD2 and then everybody calls it a day, okay? 2. That's it. If we're going to fight, we fight. Hunter, you, me, FOD2, let's do this. 3. If we're done shouting, can we please focus on what we all do best and just play some FOD2, please? I'm going to try to be the peacemaker here and go with the friendly match, quote unquote. People, this isn't helping anything. Look, we all love Fist of Discomfort too, right? So let's focus our energies there. We'll have a friendly match and then everybody goes home. Okay? Enough fighting IRL. We compete honestly as gamers and then agree to go our separate ways. Fine. I'm done dealing with this crap hole arcade anyway. One match for bragging rights and we're done here. Hunter steps forward from the rest of P2W, welcoming the competition. Coda will join me against you and one of your teammates. Fair? We'll see which team rules and which team drools once and for all. I wasn't planning on raising the emotional stakes of this fight, but that old urge to win, to prove myself, it's rising. A win over Team P2W would do a lot for morale. It'd do a lot for our image. It could be the springboard we need into our future. Agreed. Let's do this. All three of us are ready to go. But we need a fourth, a partner I can rely on. 2 versus 2, that's the rule of FOD2. Who do I want to call upon for this decisive fight? And I get my choice here, basically. Who do I want? To me, my 2 favorites are Zapper and Jinx. I'm going to go with Jinx on this one. Hey, Jinx, you wanna? Absolutely. Alright. Let me give you a quick tutorial on the Fist of Discomfort 2 strategy minigame. Oh, a minigame. Cool. I didn't expect that. It plays a lot like rock, paper, scissors with defense, special, attack. Special beats defense. Defense beats attack. Attack beats special. Makes sense? Your personality will give you some bonus points every turn. A super gutsy person may be better at attacking. Lastly, you can use your ultimate once per game to automatically win a round. If you use yours the same time your opponent does, you counter it perfectly. If you're a little confused, that's okay. Win or lose, the story will continue. Give it your best and good luck. I believe in you. Well, the story may continue, but I really do hope to win. Because they're all jerks. Even Hunter's not that good. Okay, think. Focus. Hunter generally loves to attack, so I can counter them with defense. As for Coda, he likes to rotate. Attack, then defend, then special, and then, well, it's a wild card. That's just what they generally do. They might mix it up. I have to be ready for anything. Win or lose, I need to give it my all. Even if I really want to win this, I have to focus on the fight and the fight alone, for the sake of my dreams. Versus. Exquisitely punchable face Coda has.
Fight.
So, Seeker defends. So Hunter wants to come at me? Fine by me. I turtle up and defend against the attacks, keeping myself and my minions safe. Your defend beats their attack. You earned 160 points. Score now 160-0. Well, I guess Jinx specials, I guess?
Too slow. We need to move faster than this.
And you should know all about speed, Jinx, being the speed demon. Your special loses to their attack. They earn 140 points. Score now 160-140. Alright, stick with the defend, I guess. Same thing I said before. Now I earned 180 points. So now it's 340-140. Oh, so he's a wild card. So, what should I do? Well, I used special last time, so we'll assume that he won't use special again. Just defense? No, attack. Yeah, well, it was a tie. If I picked defense, I would have got it. Oh well. Both attack. It's a tie. You earn 20 points. They earn 20 points. Score now 360 to 160. Right, round 5 of 8. Still winning. Just stick with defense because he doesn't seem to change it up. Nope, still the same thing. Okay. I mean, I'm devastating them, really. So he used... I guess he could go back to special. But I'm going to assume that he'll defend. Let's just do the special. Nope!
I need to move faster than this.
Oh, well, he used the ultimate, so... that was going to happen no matter what. Round 7 of 8. Gee, what am I going to do? Possibly defend? Huh. Alright. How silly of me. Okay, well, I guess I'll just use my ultimate attack for the last round, huh? Burn, baby, burn.
We've just begun. Step into hell and face me.
Oh, wow, she's scary. I love the cats, though. Use your ultimate. You earn 130 points. Score now 650 to 400.
You win.
Heck yeah. I'm kind of a gaming master, in case you didn't know.
Smarter, faster, stronger. We had all we needed to win this race.
Right on, Jinx. You and me. Friends to the end. We won? We won! We won a match over the best team in the nation! All those old instincts come rushing in, the thrill and satisfaction of victory. Beating P2W feels good. Feels damn good. Hard fought, hard won. Solid match all around. GG. Ah, Jinx, you're a good sport. That was a close one, Seeker. Had my heart pounding. See? My hands are still shaking. Love that rush. Gotta admit, that was a lot of fun. Just like the old days when we'd run into each other on ladder, huh? But Coda is a bit less sporting about the loss. Yeah, big surprise. I call hacks. They have to be cheating. No way a bunch of laundromat losers could beat us. 1. There's no call for that. Accept your failure with dignity. 2. Oh yeah, I used my phone to hack the game and give myself like 1,000,000 points. 3. Learning to accept loss is an important part of emotional maturity. 4. Man, I don't even feel like trash talking you. It's too easy. I love the emotional maturity line. Going with that. Coda, you really need to learn to accept loss. You can't win all the time. How you react to losses says a lot about you as a person. A lesson I'm still working on myself. Even if today's victory means pushing that lesson down the road to another day. I want a rematch. I demand a rematch. Best of 3. Only way to prove that wasn't a fluke. Because it was a fluke. They're all cheaters. Really? I saw a clean victory. And now, the whole internet has seen it as well. Loxley holds up his phone, playing a video he'd been secretly taking of the whole match of P2W's humiliating loss, and Coda's ranting. A bit clickbaity, but I opted to title it Whiny Team P2W Crybaby Utterly Schooled by Local Laundromat Underdogs. Lovely, isn't it? Now the whole world knows your pedestal isn't quite so out of reach. Loxley, good one. You little... I'm about to reply when I'm cut off. A figure who had been lurking in the background this whole time, making her presence felt. The coach for Team P2W, Victoria Proud. Formerly the esports star player Valkyrie. I'd seen her come in with a team, but she hadn't talked to anyone since arriving. Quiet like death, only watching and waiting. Now she glowers at Coda and Hunter, extremely unhappy with the results, her frown causing Coda to shift nervously. Coach, I just meant that... She holds up a finger to her lips, silencing him. Then, in a turn of eeny, meeny, miny, mo between her two players, her finger eventually lingers on Coda.
Coda, you're fired.
Sweet. What? But this whole mess is thanks to Hunter. They wanted to come here in the first place. Her eyes narrow at Coda's complaints, which stops him mid-sentence.
Stop passing the blame. Not only do you look childish, but you've made the whole team look bad. And I won't stand for that.
I'm probably not going to like her overall, but in this case, her wrath is directed at a tool. She sighs grudgingly whilst crossing her arms. She's by no means thrilled.
Not only are you fired, your non-compete clause means you're not joining any other teams.
Heck yeah.
Not that they would have you, especially not after I tell them you're blacklisted. Be happy I'm not doing anything else.
Coda stands there in total disbelief as the other members of his team edge away from him, as if he's suddenly caught a very communicable and very nasty disease. Defeated, Coda slinks away to a corner of the arcade. With Coda out of the picture, the coach redirects her attention to me? I gulp, and hopefully not too audibly.
As for you, congratulations on your victory. Clearly you've earned it. But I wouldn't spend all night celebrating. You haven't won some grand war. You're an impressive challenger, no doubt, but take my advice and be content with what you have.
Never! Never, madam! She nods and I'm confused. Did she just give me a nod of respect? She twirls her finger in the air and the rest of Team P2W follow her out. Even Coda, who's trailing at a safe distance. We won. We beat the best team in the nation simply by being who we are, by working together. Friendship is power. If we can accomplish... 3, 2, 1. If we can accomplish this, if we can avoid becoming a group of toxic jerks like Team P2W, this could be the start of something great. I think I understand why Iris brought me here. They may not be hardcore FOD2 players like Hunter's new team, but they are a team. They're friends, they're allies, they're together as one, and I've done my best to support them today. They could do anything they set their minds to. Maybe this is the moment. Maybe I can convince them of that. Beep beep. This is an intense identity situation. You can only pick a response that matches your top 2 personality traits. Alright. My top two are, I know I'm the newcomer, but together you're an unbeatable circle of friends. Together we could win. Or we just humiliated Team P2W. That's a perfect starting position for a serious Pro Tour run. I prefer the first one. Power of friendship. Ho! Wow. I mean, just wow. I'm the newbie around here, but even in the few hours I've been a part of your inner circle, I have to say I'm amazed. You support each other. You care for each other. You pulled together when P2W started stomping around your home. I can sense a lot of strength, a lot of love here. And that's a power that can take you anywhere you want to go. I know you said you're not all that interested in the FOD2 Pro Tour, but I think if you can pull together as one like you have today, you could do it. We could do it. We could try at least. Win or lose, we owe it to ourselves to try, if only to see how far we can get. So, what do you say? Friends? I'm not really a competitive sort of person. +1 grace. But when you put it that way, you're right. We're stronger together than apart. And we could really make a go for it. I'm willing to today. +1 Loxley. Where grace leads, I shall follow. To the very gates of hell if need be. I don't think it's going to go that far, Loxley, but I appreciate the enthusiasm. +1 Domino. I prefer to stop about 10 feet short of the gates of hell, but you know what? I'm down. I'm ready to support you all for what good that'll do. I'm not one for the Care Bear TM Hug Festival, but you know I'm ready for the Pro Tour. Always have been. This interaction has certainly renewed my spirit. Remind me what it's really like to play. Who knows what we could accomplish as a team? If Grace says so, then fine. Okay. Aw, no +1 for Jinx? Alright. It's happening. My dream. My dreams of victory. I found a team willing to go all the way. I've done it. Iris was right. This is where I need to be. Hold it. One thing to make absolutely clear. You want to whip this team into something resembling a competitive professional esports crew? Yes, that's what I said. Okay. Then you are the one responsible for making that happen. Ah, crap. I just fell into leadership. Every time, man. You're our new manager. What? Never had one. Never needed one? Not until now.
Sounds good here.
You want us to take this seriously? We'll need someone who can network, shake hands, make deals, sign paperwork, make travel arrangements, find sponsors. I can do one of those things. Actually, not even that well, because my handwriting's not that good. And since you're so gung-ho about this, that means it's you.
Of course.
Yes, of course. It makes sense. I'm sure you do a great job as team manager. Maybe you could even find a better name for us than Team GCF?
This can't possibly end badly.
Oh goody, we have a professional cat herder now. Have fun trying to keep this merry band on task, Seeker. I'd sooner eat glass than take on that job. But I say we don't give Seeker absolute authority. You saw how that creep who runs P2W just up and fired Coda? None of that. You don't get to access or hire anyone new.
As you wish.
I mean, I didn't want to. You're all cool. Now, I'm sure we can turn to Seeker for leadership without her becoming a tyrant. After all, Sic Semper Tyrannis, yes? I think that was a threat. Yes, that was a threat. Just a word of advice from someone who's been inside and alongside of esports for years. It's a lot of hard work. A lot of hard work with barely any thanks or praise. And if anyone has a whisper of negativity, you get the full brunt of it. But overall, you'll do great. I'm looking forward to seeing what you can do. 3 cheers for Manager Seeker. Cheer. 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 I'm getting excited about this. A Pro Tour run? Can we really do it? Wow. With someone else doing all the paperwork and heavy business lifting, I'm perfectly okay with this.
Tally-ho!
Friends, to the pizzeria for only the finest and celebratory deep dish pies. Everyone storms Ben and Matt's pizzeria, intent on scarfing down pepperoni and mozzarella by the pound. It's happening. It's really happening. Tomorrow, my new friends and I begin our training for the Pro Tour. We're going to be a pro esports team. 1. My dreams are finally coming true. 2. It'll be hard work, but I know we can do this. 3. This is my time. This is our hour. We will triumph. 4. Getting paid to play video games? Hot damn, sign me up. First one. It's kind of what I default toward most of the time, the heartfelt stuff. I've dreamed of victory ever since I was little. My parents praising me for my accomplishments. That warm, wonderful feeling of pride and happiness. And now, I'll be able to seek my dreams alongside new friends. I'll support their dreams, and they'll support mine. Together, we can accomplish anything. Get ready, 20XX. Your new challengers are here. I'm guessing that's the end of that. Level complete. You've completed this demo of Arcade Spirits, the new challengers. Victory! Let's take a look at your scores. Wow, I maxed out 3 different people. You're in Zapper's sights, to be sure. Funny. You're proving to be a gentle, sweet, and compassionate soul. Thank you so much for playing, and we hope to see you again when Arcade Spirits, a new challengers, launches in early 2022. And here's what you can expect. Designing your player character and rival, which you already saw. Building relationships. Grow your personality through role-playing choices. Manage your team and fight through all obstacles. Fight in the Fist of Discomfort 2 strategy minigame. Import your decisions from the original Arcade Spirits. I wonder what that entails, because I haven't seen any characters from the first one, except I think that the owners of the pizzeria were from the first one, if I remember correctly. I haven't seen them in a while in the game, and my brain just kind of if it's not in front of me, sometimes it just says, I don't need this information, bye. Well, I'm eventually going to find out, because I will get it. Maybe not right when it comes out, because my finances are a little tight at the moment, but definitely on the wish list. I know Queen Bee's in the new game, so I'm curious to see how that's going to happen, what that entails. But that is that. Thank you for watching. If you want this game, I know it's coming out in May, I believe late May. I don't remember the exact date. Actually, hold on just a moment. I'll look it up, because why in the heck not? Alright, just looked it up. So the game actually comes out on May 27th. So add it to your wish lists, people. It's not gonna do it by itself, is it? Doesn't, or will it? Iris, are you in the game? Do you have the ability to add yourself to people's wish lists? You can tell me. I'll keep your secret. Alright, enough of that already. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.